Welcome back, everyone, and today we have our dear darling swatch comparisons from Bliss and Euphoria, and we're going to swatch them by themselves as well on the swatch sticks. So we have lots of comparisons. Now you may be a little confused. Now the tops would make it probably a little more confusing. The only one of these that's not technically a special effect polish, because that's exactly what Euphoria is Renaissance in this list. And the only ones that even look like in this list, Euphoria is Renaissance and Cloudy, if you're looking at them in the bottle. But because of the type of special effect polish this is, it's going to turn out very similar to Cloudy, Sandbar, Seaweed, and Fish Scale. It's going to be a lot like those. And you know, I didn't think to pull that one out, but Retrograde, it would be very similar to that as well. I didn't think to pull that one out, but I probably should have, because Retrograde also behaves in that same manner. I don't know what color is going to shine through when I go ahead and swatch this. So we're going to find out what color of pigment in this special effect polish is going to shine through. Like Cloudy, blue is what shines through. In fact, Cloudy looks very, very similar to Retrograde. You know, this is more of a pinkish color shining through, but if you look, it looks green in the bottle. And this one's got a green shine through, but it looks orange in the bottle. This one's got like a gold and green. Right now on camera, the angle I'm looking at it, it looks like a gold green. But when I show it on camera, it looks more like a red color. So it really, these special effect ones, like, you don't know what's gonna pop up. So I literally just grabbed the special effect ones that were that particular type of shimmer. I could have grabbed the Moonbeams collections, but that's a different type of special effect. Technically, Renaissance is a form of special effect with its shimmer, but it's not as much of a special effect as the others. It's a little bit different type. The Moonbeams has a chunkier pigment in it, so it reflects the light differently from these. These are a much finer milled pigment that's in these, so they show up differently. So let's see if I find my swatch sticks of the Moonbeams collection. Let me guess, it's all the way in the back. It is. I gotta stick it out. I love you too, buddy. Why are you out of bed?
I just went to the restaurant.
Okay. I'll give you a hug and kiss in just a second. Okay. Love you. Go to bed.
Okay.
Okay. So, sorry for that interruption. For instance, this is Planet Silk. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but look how that shows up on the stamping. It's almost a frosted metallic color shift versus this finer. Let's see if I can zoom it in here. See the difference in the effects here, guys? They're similar, but they're not quite the same. I did do an entire video on the Moonbeams collection. So I already have my swatch sticks prepped, and we will go ahead and start with Euphoria. We're going to go ahead and swatch the bottle, on this stick before we do its comparisons to see what this looks like, and have the swatch stick available. For reference point whenever needed. Oh, that's gonna be, wow. That's like a teal color almost. Over black. Interesting. Okay. Oops, sorry guys, did not mean to clip the stand while I was grabbing my stamper and then losing my entire stamp. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's not my day. Not my day, guys. I apologize. Let's clean this up. Let me tell you how much it's not my day. I've had to argue with my 8-year-old all day. I broke a toenail and had to cut it like pretty short because it was shorter than I like to, and I'm notorious for getting ingrowns in that one. So, but I broke it so bad that it was there. I had to cut it short, super short, in the pool of all places. And my husband's on call, so I have had an upset 5-year-old, my nonverbal autistic, because story time was a whole different slew. I was woke up before the sunrise by my 8-year-old. It's been a day. It's been a day. It's just been non-stop difficulties. Let's try this again. And of course my wedding ring's in the shop right now, so to speak. It's with the jeweler that we purchased it from with their lifetime warranty to fix the band because it broke a couple days after we got back from the vacation. At least it waited until we got back home, but yeah, that's not fun. So I'm wearing my fancier band that it was part of a set that I don't wear very often because it's super fancy. And see, it feels too fancy for everyday wear. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this. I need to pull out a paper towel for this to lay on too. I think about it. This is really pretty. It feels a touch redundant though. It is different from all the others. Especially the two that I feel like was closest to it, but it is a bit redundant. So soon after this one. It was only 2 months ago. Beep. Paper towel! Woohoo! I didn't have to stand up. I'm ready to just go bob around the pool and float. Might take a book out with me. Just float around the pool. Enjoying the nice weather and the nice warm water. It's a salt water system, so it feels amazing. Help my aching muscles. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and compare them all. over black is where you're really going to have the best comparison, because it doesn't really show over white very much, and most of these do not, because of the type of special effect polish that they are. So over white, most of these are going to look almost identical. Kind of case in point. You can't even see it at this distance. I'll have to zoom in because I can see it on the mat, but barely over the white. There's a very notable difference between Cloudy and Euphoria, which is the two most recent on the mat. This is definitely more teal, and this is a brighter, softer blue. Okay, for the last one, that looks like it in the bottle versus how it's stamped. I remember when Renaissance came out, and I remember being super excited for it, and I do like this color, but I rarely ever use it. I feel like when I get into the beachy stuff, this is going to be the one I go to, though, because this is like a good sand color. So I feel like that's going to end up being like what I reach for. This chair is so freaking squeaky because it's old and it's decrepit and it's falling apart. Children have destroyed it. My cats have destroyed it, and I am like one of the smallest people in the group of people that we know. And I didn't buy this chair for bigger people. I bought this chair for smaller people. So when friends use it, it does get damaged, and that's why it got damaged. I know it's comfy, but it's not meant for large people. And I can't afford a bunch of large people furniture. Heck, even ones that support my butt are generally a couple $100s. It's an unfortunate thing. Okay, so there's Renaissance, which has a very gold look to it. Just get these even further back as well, but you can't even see it when I zoom in, probably. Okay, I think this one's fish scale. No, this is sandbar. You will notice that with special effect polishes of this type of caliber, also very runny. And I mean very runny in comparison to the others. It's got a much more liquidy formula. And it doesn't feel as thick. It feels like a normal nail lacquer versus the cream ones. Like, this is generally thicker feeling. They're really good polishes though. Okay, so this one is seaweed, which means the next one is fish scale, and then retrograde. I went ahead and grabbed retrograde because that one definitely would have similarities. Just not sure why I never thought about it. Poor retrograde. It was one of my, it's still one of my favorites, but like, I keep forgetting about it. I keep forgetting it exists. Because I keep almost all of this particular type of special effect polishes with like my whites and blacks and grays and browns. And that one's in with my blues. I think that's why I forget about it. Probably. Okay, on to fish scale. Give me just a second. Hi, Leia. Excuse me. Leia. Alright, we're gonna pay the cat tax here. She's being needy. Yes, you forgot to come to bed last night. I know. Cleany thing. Leia, I don't want your tail in my polish. I don't want your tail in my polish. Okay? Leia, come on. Off the arm of my chair. Leia, come on, baby. Lay down. You can lay in my lap, but you need to lay down in my lap or get down. Sweet girl, I love you too. Okay, down it is. Come on, off. Thank you. My children. The furry and the not so furry. Okay, and now retrograde, and then we will zoom in. Oh, come on, close nicely. Thank you. My guess is that my husband was on his way home or telling me how much longer he was going to be before he got home. He is on call and he is out on a job. Last I knew, so. Okay, so we're going to go in a little closer here, and we're going to zoom in. So you can barely even tell that there's anything there for Euphoria over white. You can tell for Cloudy a little bit more. Renaissance. And, sorry guys, this stand is a bit difficult to operate here. So I think I'm just going to take it down a little here. And so for all of the others, you've got retrograde, fish scale. This one's sandbar. This is seaweed. Haha, seaweed. Renaissance. So over the white, you notice the key pattern here over the white. Okay, so over the white, you're not really going to see it. That's why I said over the black is where you're going to see it. So here's where the big differences are. Euphoria seems to resonate closest to seaweed. Seaweed is the closest one I've seen here. But it's also similar to Cloudy from 2 months ago and Retrograde. It has a greenish blue. So the blues and the greens out of the special effect really resonate with Euphoria. The others, not so much. So, I'm gonna pop this back in and bring it down, pull it back. I'm gonna look at the purples. Okay, so as far as those go, so as far as those go, that's what we got. Let me go ahead and clean this off. Not purples, but I am tired, guys. As far as the ones that are similar to Euphoria, that's what we got. We're about to hit the purples. Which the color for that is Bliss. So don't mind me. This is how I clean my mat. My sheet's getting too full is the problem. Yep. It probably doesn't seem like it because on white you can't really see these guys, but it's a very shiny piece of sticky paper right now because of how much it just cleaned off of polish. It's a very shiny, sparkly piece of paper. Get that cleaned up without leaving residue behind to interfere with the purples. Okay. Good enough. Oh, wait, no, there's not. There's one whole freaking finger I didn't get. Oh my goodness. We're just gonna do another sheet to be safe. It's $1 lint roller. I'll be okay. On to Bliss. So, this lovely, beautiful purple is a nice addition. There it is. Let's try to put my stamper. Shows up beautifully over black. I don't imagine it's going to be an issue over white. Generally, you would not have an issue with a cream polish like this particular one over white. Over black, maybe. Lighter colors over black can sometimes be a bit rough. If they're yellow or orange or something like that, they tend to be a bit more difficult. Shows up beautifully over white. Go ahead and paint our third tier. This is quite a nice shade of purple. So, go ahead and clean my plate. So this next one is Lilac Mist, and looking at it side by side, there's very little difference in the color on the bottle and the cap. These are actually very, very similar colors, just maybe one shade off. I'd say Bliss would be about one shade darker than Lilac Mist. It has this slightly cooler tone and less of a warm tone to it, whereas Lilac Mist has a slightly warmer tone. So we're going to go in with Lilac Mist. And it shows more in a bigger area. So this is why I swatch on the mat, instead of just comparing sticks. Yep. So they're almost one shade different. They're very close in color. Okay, so the next one is Bluebell, which is a relatively new one, actually. And this is a darker purple, but similar. It is in the cooler tones. It's a little bit darker. It's a few shades darker than Bliss by the looks of it. Okay, so this next one is Flourish. Okay. I think this is Marzipan. Yes, this next one is Marzipan. It's also a slightly darker, cooler toned. This one has a little bit more warm. Darker, slightly warmer toned, I guess. Yeah, it's more warm, less cool. More warm. That one's more of a cool tone. That's more of a warm tone. And for the final one, you guys are probably going to crack up. This one you cannot get outside of the Rebel Yell kit. This is Yummy Gummy. Now this one's actually a lighter purple than Bliss, but it is relatively close. this is a staple color for me, and I'm upset that I don't have access to a bigger bottle or even a refill without buying an entire kit or buying secondhand, which is upsetting because I love this. It's a good off-white color because it's borderline white. And with just that hint of, like a hint of lilac to it. Just a small hint of it. And it's so freaking pretty. And I used to use it in my Halloween manis all the time. Like I said, you can get it, and this is how I got it, is through the Rebel Yell kit. Now, they used to have this outside of the Rebel Yell kit back when they were still Bundle Monster, and they had it in full-size bottles. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they discontinued it. I love that color. I wish they'd bring it back. As a hashtag, bring back Yummy Gummy. Let's bring it back, guys. Bring it back. Along with our pineapple holder for our scraper card and our ready tools. Let's bring it back. Hashtag bring it back. I want it back. Because I dread the day that this thing falls apart on me. I dread the day. Because that thing is so handy. It helps me keep my tools right where I need it. Use it all the time. So handy. Okay, so we're gonna get down close. Zoom her in. Okay, you can barely see it over the white for Yummy Gummy, but you can see it more clearly over the black. And it is a much lighter, almost white, almost a gray white. And then we have Marzipan, which is this one right here. This is Marzipan. And this is a decent bit darker than Bliss, and it's a warmer tone. And then you're getting into, is this one Flourish? Yes, this one's Flourish. So, and then you get into Flourish, which is almost identical to Bluebell. And they're a little bit cooler tone than that. The closest one is Lilac Mist. And that is very, very close, guys. Like, there's very little difference between the two. There is a difference, but very little. This one's a slightly cooler tone and slightly different in shade. This one's slightly warmer, slightly different shade. But aside from that, they're very, very close, guys. So if you want something similar, and you don't want the whole box, or you don't want to wait, or you already have it, you may decide to wait off if the funding doesn't look good at this point. So these are good, comparisons too. But like I said, the closest that I own personally, and as far as I know in generality, is Lilac Mist. In fact, when I saw Bliss, that was the first color that came to mind, was Lilac Mist. And for this reason, because it is very, very close to it. All the others are similar, but not super duper close. So, those are definitely viable options. Depends on what you're trying to go for. And with just a little bit of white added to any of these two especially, they would come out very similar to that and that. So, don't add too much or it'll look like this. May have to make my own Yummy Gummy. Okay, so that's all of them, guys, and I hope this was helpful for you all. It's certainly been a long day for me, so I am ready to be done for today. I just got done filming before this, the unboxing itself, so I'm kind of ready to just chill and float around my pool for a while and before I go to bed. And I need to call the hubby back. But I do believe that's all of it, guys. We have some really good comparisons this month. Last month, not so much. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't really have anything remotely close to Emerald City, and that's not a bad thing. I love it when Maniology comes out with a color that's that unique, that out of all of their polishes, that is that unique that you don't really have anything to compare it to. it gives a bigger variety when they hit those. When you have a lot of stuff that's very similar to it, it can get kind of redundant. Don't get me wrong, I love having a wide variety of colors like this. I do love having lots of shades. But for the people, which I know a lot of people do use it for that, when they get the Mani Me subscription, they get it to expand their collection. When they get the ones that has the polishes, it's generally to expand their collection of polishes because they're missing a lot of colors, and that's the best way to do it. So to have a more redundant of the same color, almost the same exact colors, back to back, like Euphoria and Cloudy are very similar. They're not the same. They're not the same, but they're similar. When you get that, when that happens, that's leaving that person without, the people that do that without having as much variety of different colors to select from, and it can be a little difficult and daunting for them because they're hoping to build their collection and you want a variety of different colors and not a bunch of pretty much the same color. And I know this from personal experience because I did not get the MXM box for that reason, but when I was building my polish collections, I was going, oh, I like this one, and grabbing it, and all of a sudden I realized I lacked in a lot of colors, and suddenly when I was doing my nail art, I needed these other colors that I lacked in, and I'm like, oh god, I don't really have any yellows, or I don't really have any greens, or man, I only have one orange and it's not the shade of orange I want. So you're going to want a big variety. And when you get almost the exact same things, they're not the same, but they're similar almost every month. I can tell they try not to do it, but it does still sometimes happen. And this is one of those examples of how it sometimes happened. 2 months ago, Cloudy was released, and it's very similar to Euphoria. So they did it last year around Halloween. They had Flicker, Occult, and what was the last one? Peacock. Flicker, Occult, and Peacock. And they were almost identical. There was minute differences between the three. And they released back to back. Like first month, second month, third month, and within a couple weeks of each other kind of thing. Like they were all right there within just like 3 weeks of each other on each end. And they were also close together. I was like, oh god. It's like, please stop. But one was an MXM polish. One was a advent calendar polish, and the other one was a fall release. But the problem is that they were all released practically at the same time. And I kind of got frustrated that section of the year because I want something different, not a bunch of the same. And I know a lot of other people do too. So, enough of my rant. Enough of my rant right now. I'm tired, so it's like I have no filter. It's just, it is a little frustrating. I'm not saying that they're not beautiful. I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying it's a little frustrating when you get almost the exact same thing all the time. So they are usually really good about not doing that, but I swear once or twice a year they do it. And that's got to be hard not to. But man, they get some really good bangers out there, and it makes me wonder if it's as hard as what it seems like for them to not do that, because it seems like it would be a little easier with as good of variety as they pump out. So, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And I hope you all are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever it may be, wherever you were at while you were watching this video. And thank you all for watching. And until next time, guys. Bye.